So, our story today from the Lord's Word is about the Lord healing this man at the pool of Bethesda, a man who was powerless, so that when other people were stepping down into this water, believing that an angel stirred it up and found healing, he was unable to do that. There are many messages that we could get from this story. Perhaps the most important one is that the Lord has the power to restore our strength, to heal us of whatever disease we have, whatever infirmity, whether it's natural or spiritual, and he can lead us to heavenly life. That's the important message. But there are other important messages. The one I want to focus on today is the fact that this man had been lying there at the pool of Bethesda, or probably a lot of other places where he had traveled, powerless for 38 years. 38 years. And what's in a way disturbing, when the Lord came there and he looked at him, we're told that he knew that that man had been in that condition a very long time. So the question that this raises for us is that how could the Lord come to a place like that with all those people who were sick and paralyzed and blind and lame, and have allowed them to be in that condition, many of them for many, many years? And if the Lord is there, why doesn't he just heal everyone? Why doesn't he come to our need when we need him? And this is a difficult thing that all of us have to face in our own life, because we all struggle with problems that sometimes last a very long time. So picture him knowing that poor man who was powerless with whatever affliction he had. What about the first week when he had that, and the Lord knew that? The Lord would have known that that was going to last for a long, long time, 38 years. And he knew that there was a time when he was going to come and ask that man, do you want to be made well? And he would be able to be healed. So why did the Lord wait 38 years? Why didn't the Lord come sooner to him? Well, one of the things we have to trust is that the Lord, who is not in time, the Lord who is in all time apart from time, wishes our goodness. He wishes our happiness. And so his whole goal is to make us happy, not just now, but to eternity. And so we trust in something we call his providence, his providing. He's looking out for us, and he's arranging our life on his part the best he can in order to promote our long-term happiness. Now I want to read to you a passage from the Heavenly Doctrines for the New Church, from the work Divine Providence, which talks a little about the Lord's foresight, how he sees. The operation, or the working of the divine providence for a person's salvation, is said to begin at their birth and to continue right on to the end of their life. In order to understand this, it should be known that the Lord sees what the nature of a person is and foresees what they desire to be and what they will be. And in order that they may be a human being and so live forever, the freedom of their will cannot be taken away. Therefore, the Lord foresees a person's state after death and provides for it from his birth right on to the end of their life. With the wicked, the Lord provides by permitting and continually withdrawing them from evils, while with the good, he provides by leading them to good. Thus, the divine providence is unceasing in the work of saving a human being. Unless the Lord were doing this continually from the birth of everyone to the end of their life, neither heaven nor hell would continue to exist. For without this foresight and providing, neither heaven nor hell would be anything but confusion. This may be illustrated by the following comparison. If an archer or a marksman were to aim at a target and a straight line were drawn from the target 1,000 feet beyond it, and if he should err in his aim by only a nail's breadth, his arrow or bullet at a distance of 1,000 feet would diverge very far from the line drawn beyond the target. So would it be if the Lord did not every moment, even the least fraction of a moment, regard eternity in foreseeing and providing everyone's place after death. This, however, is done by the Lord because all the future is present to him, and all the present is to him eternal. So did you get that illustration? If the Lord weren't able to see way beyond what we can see, heaven would be a mess. We'd never be able to be led to our own happiness and to our own place. And he compares this to a marksman or an archer who aims at a target that's maybe 50 feet, maybe 50 yards away, and hopefully hits right in the bullseye there. But what if the person were to hit, just a little bit over to the edge, or maybe just off the target? It would still be a pretty good shot, but if you trace that line and keep going, what happens? It gets further and further from the mark as you go. And so that arrow has to be guided by the Lord so that it's straight on, going straight on to eternity, to the place that he sees we want to go. And so the Lord is constantly providing for us and looking out for our long-term good. So, what do we do about the things that happen that don't seem very good? Well, we have to be patient, don't we? And we have to trust the Lord because we know that the Lord is leading us because he sees things that we don't see. Let me illustrate this again. What if a person were on a journey and there was a lion that was in the trail just up ahead and they couldn't see the lion, and so they fell and stubbed their toe and sat down to try to nurse their toe, and when they got up they forgot which way they were going and they went another direction, and that direction took them right into a swamp, and they were wondering how to survive and go. It would seem like a bad turn of events, right? They stubbed their toe, they're in a swamp, but they didn't see the lion that was up ahead, and maybe the Lord was guiding them away from that lion. And so it is with us. We don't know why things unfold the way they do. Sometimes they seem very bad. But we need to trust that the Lord is able to take those bad circumstances and he's able to tweak them in such a way that he can bring good out of them. They don't come from him, but he can bring good out of them because he's looking ahead way beyond what we can see. So we're all struggling. And like that man waiting 38 years, we all maybe are impatient having to wait at home, wait for our life to begin again, go back to school, go back to our work. But let's just wait for the Lord and be patient and each day do the things that are put before us so that the Lord can bring good, and we trust that he will. Amen.